Hi, this is Maurice, Benard, and Anna Damergis. Welcome to the Maurice and Anna Show. Okay, here we are, the Maurice and Anna Show. And listen, this show is kind of like, you know, if you're feeling a certain way, you're tired of watching the news, you just want to feel good, this is the show to watch, the Maurice and Anna Show. And I say Maurice first for a reason, but I won't get into that.
I'm happy to just be in your company. That's just the truth here.
These two, they and then it's like the show's on and like, oh, hello, but like brothers and sisters,
Like brothers and sisters.
like really for real.
Who do we have today?
Oh, who is it?
Today, we have a very special guest.
Yeah.
She is a social media sensation. She is an actress. She is a comedian. She has several projects out, including Trolls. And I heard she's gaming these days. She is a single mother, an entrepreneur, and a beautiful human being. We have Glozell Green.
Hello, this is Glozell. Is you okay? Is you good? Because I want to know. I love that intro. It's all true.
All true.
Yes,
And
you
she
make me
has
sound
800,000 million views on YouTube. You didn't
Yeah, a
forgot
few
to say
billion.
that.
I said YouTube sensation, social media
All right.
sensation.
And she's met Obama, which is a big...
in the White House. Yes.
Yes. And I think I heard, if I'm correct, that Starbucks took the cinnamon off the counters because of her experiment.
Yeah.
Yes.
The cinnamon
It's
challenge.
due to my cinnamon challenge.
amazing.
A lot of kids were going to Starbucks and they want to do it, and they're like, eh. So yes, I guess I made history somehow. Like, yeah,
That's amazing
yeah.
Amazing.
that they took it.
Throughout the
Yes.
world, no cinnamon.
I think you
Did
changed
you
the
get a
law
lot
or
of
something.
publicity from that?
Yes.
From that alone?
And I still do a lot
Wow.
of publicity from it. Yes, it's like, when you're gonna start your spice line? I'm like, you know what? Okay, that is time. Glozell cinnamon. You know, like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm like, okay. And then that, things come in waves, and
Yes.
it comes back again, and all of a sudden, like, things are going viral. I'm like,
You see that?
you just need that one hit,
After watching this show, she's going to get that cinnamon thing.
That part, yes. It's nice to see you in your little jeans.
He looks so cute.
You look
right?
so cute.
He's very casual
yes,
today.
like, yeah.
And it's ripped right there, too.
Wow. Did
I
a
mean,
fan
back-
rip that on the way in? Did a fan rip
It was
your
me.
jeans?
Fans rip a lot of my clothes.
Have you ever had
No.
clothes ripped off of you?
No. No. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. I went to the Emmys for General Hospital one night. I was nominated. That's when I lost again. And I went in because in New York it was always ridiculous, right? Not like it is in LA. So I walked in with these cops who had guns, okay? And when I walked in there, we walked on and the women were grabbing my ass.
See?
Yeah.
Right? And I had Cassidy as a baby.
Oh.
And it was it was a trip, man.
It was me. I was grabbing it.
You didn't know it was her then.
It was-
No, I didn't
I
know.
tried again today.
Glozell? Was it you really?
Yes, I'm going to try again today.
So, Glozell, tell us, how does it feel to be you?
How does it feel to be me? Well, it feels great today. Today is a really good day. This year is ended up being very great because it's gone up, down. I was ghosted. I was dating somebody. It was
We
going
need to talk
great.
about that. See?
Met my little girl. He was cooking all the time.
Wow.
And then, oop,
Gone.
poof. No
out
warning.
of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. And then I posted that, and a lot of people say that it happens to them.
Yes.
I'm like, what? And you think that you're above certain things? No.
No.
But
People
now,
just choose not to communicate.
when this dude leaves or whatever, ghosted, that's it.
It has to be it. When you don't get an explanation,
But he
can't-
doesn't write anything. He just,
No.
it's just like done.
It's,
Cut.
and you don't know why. You're having a great time, and then you call, and then you're like, oh, you text. Then you're like, well, he must be at work or didn't.
They
We're
just
talking
cut
like every day.
communication.
Like
You've had that too?
Yes.
it's called like they love bomb you, and then
Yes.
I was like, I hadn't heard of this. And
Called
then,
narcissism, but that's a whole nother topic.
And then
No, but it's good to talk about.
Definitely.
I think they just like maybe the fun of the beginning or something, and then they just go to something for the beginning. Not a horrible guy. He wasn't trying to take money or try to get, he was very
that
great.
was lucky.
And I go, well, how can you? I remember when you helped my daughter with my homework. How could you just? And we're, just go.
I think people ghost other people because they're too immature to communicate, period. Because you have to have the common decency to say, look, I know we were dating, but something has changed, and I just want to let you know that I'm not going to be in the relationship with you anymore for whatever reason. Just have a common courtesy to have a conversation with somebody if you were dating with them, especially if you're being intimate with them, I would think.
But
right?
in the I'm old school. In the day, that wasn't happening as much. That word wasn't even there. Wasn't that word back then.
Right.
But why is it happening so much now?
I wonder if it's social media,
I
because you
think
have
so.
like all this candy.
Okay.
You're like,
Why is
okay, I tried that, and I'll try this, and there's so many people there.
Oh, there's so much
There's
variety.
yeah, you don't have to stick with somebody if that's not your
Like
nature.
ADD of options. You have, well, there's a pretty girl over here, or there's a good looking guy over here. So we get bored really quickly, and somebody else may come in and change your mind about the current situation.
But that's hurtful.
Very painful.
It is. And on top of it, right when I felt like, okay, I did get over that. Okay, my friend was like, oh my gosh, look who's trying to pursue me, because she was on a dating site and it was him.
Wow.
So it's like, you still out there you dating,
Scoundrel.
and there's somebody I know. So then me and my dumb self, I was like, oh, I see that you're dating. He's like, well, you should hook me up.
What?
I was like, okay, I dodged a bullet, but how horrible can a person be that you didn't know? He was literally amazing. I would say like the best boyfriend.
He was a
at
good
that time.
actor. That's all it was.
Wait a minute. How
part.
long were you seeing him?
It was 10 months.
Oh my! I can't deal.
10
with
months, and he lived like 2 miles down the road. We saw him all the time.
Wow.
I'm like, I can't find my keys. Okay, I'll pick you up and take you and your daughter to school. Like, I'm like, he was there. He was very much involved.
So you never
I can't
got
deal with that,
verbal closure from him.
Never got verbal closure, but I asked the universe, I'm like, I just want a goodbye. So Ozil and I are at a concert at a park, and I see this guy jogging. I'm like, that's him.
Wow.
He's jogging around the park. It's 100 degrees. And I go, well, I'm not going to get up and try to chase him. But if he cuts through here to try to see, what's going on at the park, then I'm going to speak to him. So I said, he did. I was like, okay, I got up. Hello. Oh, I missed you. Oh, I'm thinking, don't cause a scene. Obviously, there's something going on with him.
Right.
You missed me. I haven't gone anywhere. You can find me literally everywhere.
Right.
If thousands, millions of people find me. It's not like I'm.
You're not hiding.
I'm not hiding. And I was like, well, Ozil's here. And he said, hello. And Ozil's like, oh, hey, because. And then I knew that this was my goodbye, even though like, I'm going to call you. And that didn't happen. The next thing was when my friends like, oh, look who's pursuing me. So that's that.
That was your closure.
That was my closure. I knew that I'm like, I just wanted to just lay eyes on him and just be like, okay.
Sorry that happened to you.
I mean,
But there's somebody better out there for you.
somebody is better out
Yes.
there for me. But you kind of
He did not deserve Glozell.
did not. But you kind of you try not to be shell shocked. Like, okay, this person did me wrong, and put that on the next person.
Absolutely.
However, currently dating somebody and he's going out of town. I'm like, are you coming back? You turn to say,
abandonment
yeah,
stuff? Oh my
are you
God.
coming back? So I'm like, it's
But
okay.
at least what you have nowadays is, it happens all the time. It's not like a rare thing.
Right.
So it's almost like, okay, now this is what it is.
Common.
Yeah. Happened to you, it happened to her. Happened. I
all
just
my
never
friends.
heard about that back in the day.
Right, you didn't.
Right.
You just said, hey,
You break up with somebody.
yeah, I'm not really.
Actually break up with them.
Yeah.
In a conversation.
Yeah.
A face-to-face
Even if it's
conversation.
difficult. I wish there was text back then.
Yeah.
Yes. A text.
Now people just block you. It's like, now they just block you, or they come up
But
with
he didn't
some-
block me. I'm like, you just reading my messages. Like, how are you okay?
Right.
Are you feeling all right? How's things going? And, I'm like, he must have got COVID. He must be, trying to
must be
crawl
dead.
to the phone. He's dying. And like
in a hospital
I
somewhere.
gotta find his friends and family to, bruh, fine, just jogging around, having a good time.
Well, good riddance.
That's
So I-
amazing.
So I did hear you like cowboys.
Yes, because I'm like, okay,
Cowboys,
But-
tell me.
because I'm thinking someone who like like the old Westerns, they don't really act like that, but it'd be nice if, Matt Dillon, was just come and save the
Matt
day.
Dillon.
And I'm just kidding, and we're just, you know what you want. This is how it is. This very masculine guy. And then we're done,
Yes.
he loves his mama. He know how to cook some good beans,
See that?
Just
Yeah.
simple, not complicated. You're not all on social media all the time. Even like, let me do that.
Right.
But you're not
Yeah.
like, oh girl, look what he wearing, and it, like you just tend to the horses or whatever you got to do.
Right.
And maybe he'll say something.
Be a man.
But that I need, like that's what I.
Well, what do you say, Pilgrim?
Right, he don't have to be, yippee-ki-yay kind of a thing. But I was like wearing a cowboy hat. I'm like, I'm
Do
determined.
you like
to
the
find something.
boots? Do you like the cowboy boots?
I like the boots time to time. He don't have to wear them all the time, but he can have some spurs too. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
that kind of a man there is what I'm going for.
Do you have a specific look?
You know what? I had a look, but not now. Now it's like, and I believe that maybe I went through that because it's like the guy now is not the person I would have picked. It's not the look that I would have picked. Very, very nice looking, but he's slender as opposed to like a bigger guy, and I would have probably passed on that. But now I'm just like, well, you are a good person. You're a decent person. You know how
There
to
you
communicate.
You
You're
have
good.
ethical
Yes.
values.
Yes. And
Big
with that-
heart.
only time will tell because I was thinking all those things were there in place also. And then
Right. And where are you from?
I'm originally from Orlando, Florida.
Okay. And when did you come out to LA?
I've been here 22 years. Yeah.
That's been a minute.
Yes. And I love California. When I first got my feet on this soil, I'm like, yes, that's where I'm supposed to be.
I like Florida.
I know. He loves Florida. He likes
I like the
down on the
beach.
patio there.
Well, the beaches are better.
Yeah.
The water is
Ocean is
warm.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And the food, there's good food.
Yes.
And my kids and my family love Disney World.
Oh, Disney World's the best.
I can't deal with it, but
Excellent. But anything you want to be here in California, you want to be the highest of the high as far as actors
That's
or
true.
drug dealers or whatever, or the lowest of the low, it'd be, a homeless person. Like you have choices, you
That's
can do
right.
it. You can do it all here,
That's right.
So, and all in between. I remember one person was like, can I have $1? He looked like he was a model. I'm like, for what?
it's
Headshots.
amazing.
For headshots? I'm like, obviously this person comes from a nice, well-to-do family and they don't give him money for whatever reason and he's out there begging. But I'm like, your clothes cost more than mine. What?
Yeah.
I'm like, you in a polo outfit? What?
How does that happen?
And you asking for money and, you look amazing. Like you need to be running the catwalk somewhere. But I was like, this is California.
Yeah. I mean, I with the the homeless. I was with my son yesterday. And I can't believe that some of these. Wait, there was a woman with a baby in a carriage, and her husband.
That's sad.
And I just went. But my son says, "Well, how do you know they're not faking it?"
Right.
And I'm like, I don't really know. I don't really care because I see so many. Why can't we fix that problem? I don't know what the
Big
fix.
problem.
I don't know what the fix is, but it's,
Some people might not want to be fit
I get
And
it.
there's
because
that.
it's just easy to just be.
That's Glozell, exactly.
It's your mindset because there's been times that I have been from Forbes to EBT in the food line. Like I've gone to the gamut, but I knew that and I'm thankful for the government. Like, okay, groceries, great. But I didn't want to stay there.
Right.
But I could see how you could.
Yes.
Like if I wasn't trying to go any higher, because if I made money, then they're going to stop this. So if I just stay right here,
I get you.
Consistent.
it's consistent.
I
You
get
got to
you.
pay for where I live. You got to pay for my food. We good,
Sometimes I feel like there's a certain freedom out living homeless.
Yes. I used to think that they were not happy, but I go,
That's what I'm saying.
They're living off the grid and they could very well be happy.
That's right. That's a thing that I'd like to really get into. I'm sorry.
Talk about that.
I don't
No,
mean to
no,
do this.
that's okay.
On the
Child,
Anna show.
your-
The Anna show is,
Your
I gotta-
producer's like, we don't ran over time like 15 minutes ago. We're
good?
just having a conversation.
Anna, why don't you ask Glozell about Obama? because on State of Mind, she told me the whole story, and I was so into it. I was like a kid in a candy store.
I mean, how was it interviewing a sitting president?
A sitting president, me.
Yes.
Lord have mercy. You know, it's really interesting because my dad would be like, make sure you know how to eat. You know, like your plates go here, your glass go here. Because one day you might be sitting at the White House. And I was just like, he would say that.
Wow.
So I think that he manifested
That's
that.
a trip.
That came into fruition.
So be careful what you say
Almost.
to your kids. You know what I'm saying? Because it was never a part of my mind. I'm not political like that. Like, let me follow and go try to get an interview. Do you know how many people wanted that interview? Do you know how much hate I got that I got an interview?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
I can imagine.
versus, you know, Jennings and Barbara Walters and the rest of them, you know, like legit, you know. So here it is. Okay, you know, would you like to interview the president? Click.
What?
Wow.
What that?
How
what
did that
kind of,
happen?
like, how are you pranking me? That's just a weird prank. Like me, you know, like
Talk
what?
about prank calls.
Yes.
But that's
So-
a smart move by him.
Yeah, big time.
Yes, you know, because he just like Clinton before that, President Clinton before, playing the saxophone
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Arsenio Hall show. And you're like,
Yeah.
that's the president. You know, they were trying to do something different and new and reach younger and different
Yes,
people.
yes.
So I fall on the lines of that, and I'm just like, huh? And one of the scariest things was that when I was on my way to the White House, they never asked me for my license. They didn't ask me for a passport. They didn't ask me for squat. And I realized, oh, they know everything about me.
Wow.
They know everything about me.
Right.
They didn't have to ask.
They
'cause
have the whole
They knew everything about me before they even
background check
called.
already done, right?
Yeah.
They don't need you to provide them information.
No, that's why I want to tell people, you don't know you don't know who's watching, you don't know what. So put out good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At least be true and don't just be doing something just because somebody else is doing it. Because
Yeah.
there comes a time where you're like, well, how was I picked? You know, that's great. You know, something has come up at my daughter's school, and I haven't talked about it. Is it okay if I mention it?
Absolutely.
It could be very controversial, but I
Let's
didn't
do
think
it.
that it was.
No, that's great.
Okay. So my daughter goes to a Catholic school. So when she started going to, I'm not Catholic, but when we started going, she's not going to Catholic either. People were like, oh, they don't like certain type of people.
What does that mean?
And I was like, well, if they start preaching that, if like literally like we don't like this type of people, then we need to pull her out of the school. But right now, this is the school that's closest to me. I'm going through a divorce. I can walk to the school. This is the school that I need to go to.
Right.
I can make it there without a car. I can make it there, you know, we can walk there. But recently she joined a cheerleading team and there's a trans kid
Okay.
on the Catholic cheerleading team. And I just put that sentence. I was like, there's a Catholic. And people have gone from zero, like they're losing their minds in both ways. Why are you saying that?
Right.
Well, it's a statement. That's what's
That's what's
what it is.
happening.
And then, oh my goodness, you know, the school is just, everybody's just losing their mind because like, how can they have that? How can you know what you are at 5 years old, 6 years, the person that is 6? And I'm just like, I'm just stating that, you know, some people were saying that Catholic schools don't allow this. I'm like, but this is where we are.
Right. Well, the world has changed.
It has
What do you
changed.
think about that, Anna?
I think that you have to be comfortable within your own skin, and I think it's okay.
Yeah.
And I don't think people should judge other people because nobody ever knows what the other person is going through, and we have to accept change as it comes along as we evolve as human beings.
But guess who don't mind?
Who?
All the kids don't even care.
See?
Yeah.
They want
Let's just
the kids don't care. The
go with
parents
what
are like,
they think.
What? What about the dressing rooms? Like, what you know, they're gonna change in the bathroom. What? But the kids are just like, well, where's my position? Where do I go? Where do I hold my palm?
That's
the kids
beautiful. They're
do not care
innocent.
at all.
They're innocent.
Yeah, that's where I agree. Let the kids make the decisions.
Right.
Because they have to be the ones that are living day to day
Right.
with whatever it is.
Right.
If they're cool, why
cool.
should the parents
We
care?
are all human beings. That's the bottom line.
Yes.
And we have to treat each
I-
other
that's
with
the-
love, respect, and understanding. And I don't think there should be hatred or
Right.
criticism in that arena at all. I think that we just have to adjust our thinking.
I believe that from now towards the end of the year, that maybe the kids are going to listen to what some of the parents are saying, and things might change, because right now the kids, they're all happy, they don't care. But then there's going to be parents like, well, make sure you're not next to that person, or maybe we got to get out of the team, or make sure you get that person off the team. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
right now, I'm telling you, the kids don't care.
If the kids don't care,
that's
The
beautiful.
kids don't care.
nobody else
But
should
the kids
care.
don't care.
No.
That's right. I
Right?
think that's the perfect way to look at
But
it.
it should be the other way around too. If the kids did care, then they should do something about that also.
Well, they have to adjust. That's all. They
Oh,
have to
you're
adjust.
saying if the kids do care, they would have to
they
adjust.
have to be educated in what's going on with people.
My daughter's like, there's a boy on the team, and now that boy is a girl on the team. That was the end of the. I'm like, okay. So I didn't know it was like, now we got to sit down and we're gonna, talk about. I didn't know what I was. And then she was just like, okay, so watch me do it. We're gonna sing to Taylor Swift. I'm like, oh, we done with this conversation. Okay, okay, good. Shoo. She was happy. It was great.
Well, she makes
Just don't
friends.
block me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, she makes friends easily though. She's just like her.
So does your son. So does your son.
Thank you. That
was great.
So I need to know something.
Sure.
So being a single mother,
Okay.
When
do you accept that though? A part
do
of me
I accept what?
A part of me does not feel good or feel comfortable being called single mom, because I'm like, I'm not going to stay a single mom.
You're never going to, and that's what I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
You're never going to stay a single mom. I know there's somebody out there for you.
Well, she doesn't like hearing single mom.
Well, because and then you know how you manifest things, like if I'm like, I'm a single mom, I'm a single mom,
So-
I'm a single mom, then I'll stay
I
a
feel
stay
that's
like that.
empowering.
See, I just didn't. I go back and forth, and then because you get messages, because I used to say I'm a strong single mom. Then I'm like, but that's not really what I mean. I am one, but that's not.
That's
how
only
I want.
right now. That doesn't mean tomorrow or 10 minutes from now you're going to be single. Because
That's
you may
true.
walk out the door and somebody.
I grab
Beautiful
Maurice,
cowboy.
and,
Hey. I was just wondering, at which point when you're dating someone, do you introduce that person to your child?
Okay, now some people would think that I do it too early. It seemed to be accidental. However, it's important that my child likes that person. So why am I waiting 12 months down the road and find out, you know what, that don't,
I agree.
that's a little uncomfortable. I don't like how he looked at her, or her
think of
personality
that.
changed around him.
Yeah.
And I don't wasted all this time, because it's just been me and him. So introduce, like, they'll tell you, like, oh, I like him. Oh, he's great. Or he's nice. He's kind.
So you think quickly.
It don't have to be day one, but I don't think you need to wait. I know people who waited year and 2 years, and then they introduce, and the kids don't like them. That don't work, and now they broke up.
Wow. I never thought of it.
So I prefer earlier,
I agree with earlier.
because if she don't like her from the jump, we
kids know,
done.
right? Kids know.
They know.
I like that approach.
Now they might.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way.
Well-
I always thought from the standpoint of, unless it's serious, then there's no sense in meeting my
It
kid.
can't be serious if you haven't met my child. It can't be serious. How is it serious?
Right.
We together. I got a child. Like, you got this up. How is it? But the person I'm with now, is excellent, and like, oh, okay, she needs some new shoes. Let's do this, that, and the new backpack. So a part of me is like, is this the love bomb? And then one day just poof. However, we enjoy being treated like this, and how things are going right now. A part of me is just like, okay.
But you don't have a problem with, like, the other dude. We won't get into whatever his freaking name is. That
I have a few names for him.
he didn't work out, or he's not what you thought, and he was around your daughter. You don't have a problem with
No, because it's not like I'm like, oh, here's a stranger. Bye. I'm
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And I told my daughter, her name is Glozell, I'm like, just like we go from classroom to classroom each year, you have some friends that they're in the next year, some friends that are not. Some people come, go. Her dad was in her life, and then he's gone. So I'm like,
I get you.
People do that.
I get you.
You meet new people. Some
Yeah.
people stay in your life for a little bit longer, and then, they might be in your class, kindergarten, first, second grade, and then they're not there, third, fourth.
Yeah.
So get used to that and knowing that and where we are now, we enjoy ourselves now, and that might not be how it is
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
I appreciate that little tidbit of information. And
Well, what's your theory?
Well, that's what I was
You
saying
want to date
earlier.
somebody for 2 years and then introduce her, and
She
I
wants.
don't say 2
and
years.
then your son is like, I don't like him. Now what? You are screwed.
No, I don't say 2 years, but I feel like if
1
it's
year.
there's a commitment involved, right? Oh, look at him, he's laughing at me.
What
He's
did
causing
she-
trouble.
she
You
said
don't know
when-
the trouble he causes. You don't know. He gets me into trouble.
No, I'm just saying. How long do you wait?
First of all, I think in my situation, he probably has to be introduced to Maurice first.
I would say that he's got to be run through.
Well, that's the thing we have
Yes.
going. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I'll
It's
meet the
like-
guy and I'll be like,
No.
"What's up? Why do you want to go out with her? Really? Not really, man. Where are you from?
Have you introduced yet?
Potentials.
I've
Potentials,
met
couple
some guys.
potentials.
It's one guy was I think 21 years old. Or,
Oh, you like the
No, I don't.
ones with the milk behind the
God.
ears? He still
Oh my
smell like
God.
milk.
I don't know what it is about the Grove, but every time I go to the Grove and I'm by myself, some dude comes after me and asks me out. And it's generally a young guy.
Okay, so where at the Grove? What time of day? When?
This was last night. And this guy came up to me and I had my
They're good for
earpods
what they're
in.
good for, so don't knock the young.
I'm just saying, listen, they are good, but I'm like, I look at him, I'm like, you're super cute. You're super cute. They're all super cute and they're very sweet and kind. But I'm just like, how old are you? And they're like, I'm
how old was he?
28?
32. So I said,
It's better than 21.
I said, I'm much older than you. No, you're not. There's no way that you can be older than me. I am much older than you. I will not let you know. Well, can I have your Instagram handler?
That lets you know right there. Oh, womp womp.
Yeah.
Rah, rah.
What a child.
There's another thing that I don't like when I start talking to somebody. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. But anyway, the Grove seems to be a place where you can get picked up these days. I'm just saying, maybe we should go hang out.
We should just hang out. We'll be like the Golden Girls of the Grove, you know.
That could
Because
be good.
the older ones, because I always liked age appropriate, my age or older. However, as I'm getting older, there's other issues that come to play.
That's true.
And it's like, oh, no, I'm not ready to be a nurse.
No.
Or, like, I have to be the therapist to all of the baggage that you've carried.
Yeah.
through
Trauma
that.
surgeon.
Obviously, but, instead of talking about it, you just ghost. But, you're going to get that when you're talking to somebody that's, I don't know, over 40 for the most part.
Right. So I don't care like 5, 6 years, 7, 8 years younger or 5, 6, 7, 8 years older. I'm okay with either. They have to be a good human being. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And
They can't be that bad at 28. They still a child. They haven't done anything bad yet. They're 28.
28. But do you have something like qualifications, like a list, like yes and no, like what you're willing to accept and what you're willing not to accept?
But I think because of all of what I've gone through, that helped me get rid of that list.
Okay. She doesn't have
Because I've always only dated people who had a college degree.
Mm-hmm.
I've always only dated, a certain height,
Mm-hmm.
a certain skin color. Like I'm like I had it narrowed down to this whoop whoop whoop. Not in the business,
Right.
So now it's like, well, I had that, and they're all been hot messes.
So you opened up.
Yes,
Space now.
I have. I'm like, maybe there's a humility or a humbleness if they hadn't had a degree.
Right.
I'm not going to, rub your feet and I'm a doctor. I'm going to rub your feet and I'm the president of so-and-so. There's, time's up, beep, beep.
Okay.
So
one.
I have opened up to that. To just being open up to a nice person without all this check. Even though I prefer somebody within my age range, because what in the world are we gonna talk about?
Right.
There'll be time that we don't have to talk. Fine. If that's what it is, perfect. Don't talk. Because the young one's like, shh, please, I don't want to hear your mouth. You got nothing to say. No. Okay.
What's your criteria in a man or whatever
Yes.
the thing is?
Yes.
See, I was just having this conversation about half hour ago what's mine. And I always say, well, I've been with the same woman.
I would say, what's your criteria in a man? Thank you.
Well, in a man, it's probably, I don't know if it would be the same, but mine is not physical.
They all say that, and your wife is hot, so I don't
Yeah,
want to
but-
hear
I know,
that.
it's almost
they
like,
all
come
say
on,
that.
But you
if
know
your
what?
wife is not
I
attractive,
don't
then
believe that.
say
But
that.
let me tell you this.
Stop.
She was like the hottest
Stop.
thing
You-
ever.
Turn his mic off.
You did not see my girlfriends that I had before Paul.
But you didn't marry them.
That part. Thank you. Thank you.
But I was in love.
But you
For
didn't marry
years.
them. You didn't marry them.
Did you have kids with them?
Well, but let me say this.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
The criteria is this. And I'm telling you, because I'm not that shallow as far as just the way someone looks. I'm really not. They
That's
have
true.
to,
He's not.
right?
No.
They have to love children. They have to love animals. And they have to laugh at my jokes.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel if you don't laugh at my jokes, that makes you kind of not, I don't want to say nice or whatever, but
Interested?
Not understanding you.
yes. But and if you love children and you love animals, you're kind.
Right.
There we go. Now,
And how you treat people. Like what they say, the worker people, type of people, like the waitress or whoever.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh shit, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Do you know that if I go somewhere, and I'm just talking about, well, I'll say certain actresses, if I go out to somewhere and how they treat,
Certain.
I don't want the
I don't know.
Staff.
the makeup artist. or the
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
I hate when they don't treat them well.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
I know, but
And now social media, they'll tell on you.
Oh, thank
I
God.
came in here
Oh,
and
that's
they
true,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Thank God. I love that.
but
They
you know,
should.
I was like, oh goodness, because maybe they had a bad day. Like you, like I don't, and they
I
don't.
get you. I get
They
you.
don't say how they were. Oh my goodness, I love you so much. You're just like, someone just ghosted me. I just wanted to get my tea. I got it. Someone's in my face talking about sentiment. I don't know what
Yeah.
that situation was. So not all of them gonna fall into
No.
that. Everybody has a day where like,
Well, we do.
I mean, look, what
Human.
right.
the reason as an actor for me on General Hospital, whatever, is, and that's why the crew likes me, is because I've always gone off on the higher ups.
Oh,
And don't get me wrong, I've been like bad, but it's not I've never to a crew member, makeup artist, hairstylist. It's always been directors, producer. Then I become that guy. But it seems like people don't care as much when you're going up against the staff.
Right.
so they're applauding you. So yes, okay.
But that's been and my wife, since we brought her up, she has those qualities in spades. You know what I mean?
And she has patience because you guys been together.
Yeah.
You have to understand the ups and downs. And I've often thought about you when I'm dating, because especially like the person that ghosted me, I was just like, well, what if they're going through some, like, I'm assuming
Oh, I get you.
And I should be able to, I want to be able to be there for that person, but is it, but you got to tell me, I got to know what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
just ghosting wasn't enough to make me not want to still be with you. Not explaining, not ever saying anything was the issue.
Exactly. And if
you
it's
said you were
mental,
bipolar, if you was this, you was that, then I'm like, okay, now I know. But
but without telling you, that's like me doing what I've done to my wife during a manic episode, and then continuing to not take my medication.
You can't do it.
That's not
Right.
fair.
Right.
And that's not fair to him, that if he is going through any of that, to not tell you. And
Right.
you're going to assume, oh, well, maybe that's not the way it works.
no, that's why I already knew not to be like, oh, so where you been? And because I don't know what's going on through
Right.
somebody's life.
Right.
And I guess you get to a point where you're like, I'm getting too close. I don't want them to know about me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
You ghost, you don't know.
that's very true.
But I did think about you. You helped me go through, like, you don't know what people really going
Yes, and that's a true fact. But I think in this situation with you, just my opinion, maybe he was getting too close, and a lot of men, when they get that close, they run.
They run away because they have not healed themselves.
That part.
Exactly.
That part.
There
So,
you go.
Yeah,
That's
so maybe
what it
he
is.
needed the medication, or maybe, we needed to talk to somebody.
Even if it wasn't
because
meant
we're
to-
not going to go to therapy for the most part.
But I
especially
also
black
think
men.
that they run away when they know that the relationship is an authentic relationship.
That part. Yeah, I got a good woman and I'm not going to mess over, let me go now.
There's a
There
lot
we go.
of
I got chills.
there's a lot of stuff going on, but he owes you an explanation. I'm sorry. That's all.
All right, let's call him.
I'll freaking call him. Let me tell you
Give me
something.
that phone. Let's call that man. I'm here with Glozell.
I don't care how big he is. I'll whip his ass.
Let's call him.
Is he big, Glozell?
Yes, he's big.
How big?
Come on.
He's big, like, not quite,
Like 6'2"?
yeah,
Oh shit.
and big. He's
Oh
big.
no, I don't know.
I don't think he's that strong.
Let's just ask.
I can
why.
get my friend to take.
But it's like, but now that would be
We do this on the
disrespectful
show.
to the person that
Yeah, that's true.
I'm with.
Yeah.
That I'm like, well, you're not over there. Why you?
Yeah,
calling me?
exactly.
You're not
No,
talking like-
Maurice and I want to know why. Not Glozell. Maurice and I want to know why.
He won't answer anyway, so it don't matter.
Okay.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
you serious, Glozell?
I mean, he might answer, and then here's the whole. Then it's like you do care. Like
No, we're just talking about human behavior, and we're trying to understand how somebody could do something like that and why.
he's like, so you do care. You're still.
No, Maurice
talking
and I
about it.
care because
No,
Maurice
not-
You brought it up. I brought it up today.
No, I brought it
Well,
up
it's a
today.
relationship show. It's a relationship show. But Anna, you start, and I'll put him on speaker. He's not going to answer. I know it. Or maybe he
Let's
is.
see.
Oh my goodness.
What's his name?
Tell him we're on a relationship show.
Is that, can you call? Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious!
His name is Frank.
This is
Well,
ridiculous.
I never said it. We'll just call him the.
Yeah, you can't say his name,
Oh.
dude.
He doesn't know, but his nickname when I would talk about him, called the professor. And that's another thing because he also has students.
So we won't call his name.
Don't say his name.
All right.
Just say hi. We're on a Maurice and Anna show.
He's gonna click. He's gonna hang up. Hey, if he picks up.
If he hangs up, that's beautiful. Though.
I can't believe you two.
This is. I don't think. I just have a feeling he's not going to hang up. He's going.
If he's smart, he won't. Like what is? Because I'm trying to figure out what answers you gonna get that you.
We
think
did it on the last show too. It was pretty funny.
Somebody picked up. Oh my.
Oh yeah, she was. It was crazy. Her.
Please leave your message
Okay.
for
Hey, my name is Anna. Hi, how are you today? My name is Anna from the Maurice and Anna show. We are sitting here today with Glozell, and we had a question for you. If you can call back her cell number, we would appreciate it. We hope you're having a fabulous day, but we'd like to include you in on the conversation.
That's pretty good.
She's good, y'all.
That was pretty good.
She's good.
She sounded like an operator.
She did. She did. You're good.
That was good.
Now,
I
could you do
wanna
that for
know-
yourself?
Could I do it for my... Never.
Okay.
You want to do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's
Let's
she
call
gonna
it. Yeah.
Ooh.
I can't.
See? No. You did that to me. Let's call her.
I can't.
Well, not that, but
Yeah.
anybody else?
Oh,
I'm
we
trying
can
to
talk about
think.
that. But we can't talk about that.
No, because it's a. You know what I mean.
Oh.
You get my drift, right?
Yes. Okay. Well.
Okay.
So-
We did it last time. It was your aunt, or
Yes,
and we called her,
it was
and she was like,
hilarious.
"Who the hell is that?"
You can call the current one. I would like to know what's going on there in his mind.
Ooh, the current.
Who's
I
the?
can't do that either.
Yeah, you can.
I was talking about mine.
can't.
You got to do somebody. You got to do at least somebody.
Who do you want me to do? I don't even have my phone. That's the problem.
Well, we'll do it on the next
Okay,
segment.
maybe the next segment.
Okay.
Next segment.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
Since
dun.
she did it, that was cool as hell. You have to do it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, we're just dredging up a bunch of stuff.
We all need to heal. Like, come on, answers. You know, you have to
I need
move
to
on
learn.
without the apology that you don't get, sort of thing.
Yes.
But still.
Well, I've heard
Yeah.
that the ghosting is the closure that you need from somebody who can't give it to you. Like, don't look for it because that's who they are. They showed you who they are.
Right,
So don't expect any more,
Right.
anything
You're right.
more from them because they can't give it to you.
You're right.
They showed you who they were, you know, and I'm a big
Yeah, I agree with that.
believer in actions, not words.
But I want to be like Maurice's wife. Like, okay, here's somebody who has something going on and I can be there. I can roll with the punches. You know, like, I feel like I can be that person, but
But you
know,
have to
you got to
find-
give me something.
Glozell,
Right. But you have
listen.
to find the person to be that way with, right?
That person, because you have that in you. I can feel it even when we first did it, my show. That person is going to come to you when you're not even thinking it is. And you're going to take care of that person, and he's going to love you because you have that kind of heart.
Aw, that's
Okay.
true.
That's what I have to accept because, you know, you just got to,
Yes.
you just have to
Yes.
surrender.
Let me tell you, and I've had this conversation a lot, and how can I say this without getting myself in trouble? A lot of men that I know, they don't pick the right women. They don't pick, and I keep bringing this up because it's a very important.
We don't pick the right men because we're not healed.
From the
What-
wrong.
From the
What it may be, but it's just picking kind. Is it that hard to know what kindness is?
It's social media because they don't care about kind when boobs and behind is bouncing on
but
screen.
Glozell,
That's
I'm
what they
talking from my 40 years.
Mm.
I'm not even talking social media. Most of the men I know, I'm sorry, have not chosen a woman like my wife. But I'm telling you right now, even
well,
my
she's a rarity. Let's
no,
just-
but hold on. Even before that, every time I had a girlfriend, they were kind.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be with somebody who's not kind. But how hard is it to? You're kind. Not all, you know, but you know what I mean. How hard it is to pick that for these men. I see it every day. Now they're all getting divorced because these women.
and you know, right when you meet them, you're like,
I
"They're gonna
know.
never make it. They're gonna
It's
get
very
divorced."
simple. I have a thing with energy, and
I believe it.
you know, I know who's kind and who's not. But I guess most men just go for the.
They
I
don't
know.
feel
They
that
don't
they
care about
deserve
the
more.
kindness.
That's right. I get you. I get
They
you on
don't
that.
care about the kindness.
They don't care about
But
that.
eventually, that's what would have sustained the
Yes.
relationship. But they don't know that yet.
Right.
They don't.
Yes.
And by the time, and then when they go to the next person who's mean to them, they're like, "Oh man, I should have stayed over here." They
And
was-
sometimes they go from this to another one that's not kind.
right.
Just a different
'Cause that's what-
person. Yeah.
They seem to like that kind of. I don't
It's
know.
called dopamine. It's called cycle of abuse. It's called
Like a chase.
yeah.
Like the
It's
trauma.
just
chase?
yes. It's a trauma bonding. That's what they're doing. They're trauma bonding.
I
Well, you
think-
see some really nice women with like mean guys or really nice guys, and you're just like, how are you with her? She is so mean and
I
horrible. Like,
know.
what? Is that on some kind of level? You just like be told what to do and be
Yes,
treated
that's
like a
it.
dog in front of you, and like you
Right.
your husband like that in front of everybody. Like,
That's
How
the
do they
thing.
accept it?
All right, so we're back on the Maurice and Show.
Does it just like make you do that? The names? What is it?
No, I just
You're
wanna
like, how did I get roped into this?
Yeah, it's more like I want to say we're on the Maurice and Maurice show, and then the Anna has to come out. Something
Like
comes out all jumbly, like
resistant.
the Maurice.
it hurts. It hurts to say it, huh? Just
Why don't we talk about the strike? Because I don't know much about it. I want to hear from you, Glozell.
I want to
The SAG
know
strike.
because you don't know much about it, and you're an actor, and you're on the
That's
show.
true.
That is wild because people don't understand it's a completely different contract, even though like.
It's a kid.
That's
But
right.
people who are not in the business and they're just watching television, like, but they're still acting.
Yeah, how did you know soaps are not?
Well, because I remember like there was like SAG and AFTRA was different, and like Broadway that was different. There was 3 different things, and I was part when I first moved out here. There was strike.
Right.
So I came in, I'm like, okay, now everyone's on strike. And then I was like, oh, I get to meet everybody. Everybody's outside, they're on strike. But the soaps kept going. So that's when I already
Soaps
knew.
always keep going.
I was like, they always keep going. You get a job on the soap, you're going to have a job.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
a different
Consistency.
different contract, and that's just the way it rolls. And I feel a little kind of like embarrassed a bit, but it's just, I mean, I got to work.
Right.
We go to work. But how long do you think it's going to last?
There was this guy that he goes, look at this commercial. And it was a commercial of him. And I'm like, well, this is a great commercial. I don't see what the issue is. He goes, that's me, but I didn't do it.
I know, man.
And I was like, I go, well, we're messed up because that was
Wow,
a great
that's it.
commercial. It looked just like you, sound just like you. It was AI. Like, what? And if that's what we're up against, why would anybody want to pay somebody when you can get a better quality of you for free?
That's the
Or
problem.
one time pay. Like, I don't see how.
Somebody just showed me the same thing,
I don't know how they're
and
gonna.
I couldn't believe it. Now, could you do, well, eventually they probably could. Oh, somebody was telling me about listen, and I wish I had talked about it on State of Mind, but this guy was on State of Mind. He got like a $200 million contract and sold this thing, computers.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, the scary thing about AI, and I was really into this, is somebody could kidnap your daughter and want a big ransom. And you're like, well, I need to talk to my daughter.
Some proof. Oh,
Right. Wow.
that's
terrifying.
terrifying.
It can get to that.
That's
probably
a
already there.
ransom.
Maybe already
Yes.
there,
Yes,
Glozell.
that's
Already
already there.
But, and then you see your daughter and you're talking to your daughter and your daughter's like, Dad, please help me.
I'm sure that's happening.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
sure that's happening.
Because this commercial I saw, that man didn't tell me that wasn't him, it was him. I mean, it was him. His voice, his like
Can it do
likeness.
emotions?
it.
It mimics.
Like, could it be Sunny? Could there be an AI Sunny with all the way I act?
Yes.
And the
Yes,
Yes.
That's enough footage of you to be
to
you
put it together.
way after you're gone. They can do movies.
They're already cloning, so they could clone.
'Cause they
could do
started with the
AI,
hologram.
They could do anything.
There was this hologram, like you go
Yeah,
see
right.
Tupac or whatever, in a hologram or Prince or whatever.
I remember.
And, and people would go to concerts. Like, imagine, like, it. You could watch a movie. You can't tell the difference. And it's even. I put it like this. I was at the mall and I was like, oh my goodness, that's Harrison Ford. It's Harrison Ford. And so I go up. I'm like, may I take a picture? I said it really quietly because I'm like, nobody else seemed to know that this is Harrison Ford. And there's like billboards for Indiana Jones. I'm like, that is Indiana Jones. So I took a picture, and the way he was, no offense, I go, they have to be doing AI because I'm like, this was a elderly man. You know what I'm saying? The movie, he is whatever he's doing. They have to be doing AI.
Wow.
This is more than, I mean, if you got something that could be better than stunt doubles, you got to, make sure it's from the back. You can't see like AI. You see him from the front running, jumping. I would help him off the curb. This man
Wow.
nonetheless do an action movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're telling me that it seems like to me too, that this is going to go on for a while.
I feel like, or since the directors and the writers, they're like, we did
They
ours,
settled.
that the actor's going to be like, oh, okay, all right, let's get something.
Well, they're
Or-
going back to the table this week.
Well, I don't think the studios are going to give in.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they don't have to.
And what starts
They're
happening,
going to pressure us.
what starts happening,
Offer me a job because, like, you have, I don't know, Whoopi Goldberg starring in the next movie, and now we on strike, and she's striking. Offer me $500 to be a star in a movie.
right?
Why wouldn't somebody take that?
Right.
Why would somebody take, like, we can't get Whoopi because she gonna strike.
Yeah.
We gonna get somebody, and we gonna still make our money.
Exactly.
And and we don't have to pay her millions of dollars.
The way I kind of see it is like, eventually, because this as it goes down, people they start getting desperate because you start losing.
Exactly.
Because look, I think the studios start losing their yachts, and the actors start losing their homes.
It's
And that's the
demoralizing.
difference. That's the
Also.
difference. The studio, they got money to burn, man. Okay, a yacht here, a yacht
Right.
there, we'll get rid of it.
Tens of millions. Hundreds
When
of
you
millions.
and actors start losing their homes, it starts getting really. But the thing is, like you said about AI, that's why they want to stick it out,
Right.
Because we could get screwed
Yes.
in the neck,
Yeah.
later on if we're all getting.
And different companies,
Signing off
different
on our
production
image?
companies gonna start making different contracts.
That's right.
Okay, well, I'm gonna negotiate with you. I'm gonna negotiate with you. It's not gonna be like this whole just SAG. It's gonna be like, well, this production company got this contract, just like the soap operas got theirs.
And then you're going to have
this
actors
one's gonna have
leaving
theirs.
Oh, I
SAG.
see.
And Netflix gonna have theirs, and then
And then
what
I
you
think
gonna do?
actors are going to leave SAG to do non-union stuff because they just want to work.
That part.
Yes.
Like, why am I paying dues? Why am I in
Right.
this? I'm not working.
Right.
And somebody who you got off the street that don't know, never did anything is now a star.
I know a lot of people.
Like
But
what?
Anna,
have
how
SAG.
much can you make in non-union though?
It's
You're
not
working,
just
you're making nothing to SAG now.
Okay.
right,
You're making nothing.
but it's not just
Okay.
the money. It's also demoralizing when you're not working as a creative human being because you need to be
I
in that
understand
environment.
Yes.
It's
that
for
I
your
understand,
mental
yeah.
health.
Mental
you
health,
have to
yes.
work. You have to be creative.
This doesn't look good.
No, it's not a good scenario. That's for
So
sure.
we'll see.
I mean,
It's
we'll
100
see.
days right now. 100 days.
That's a long
how many
time.
months is it?
Oh, now we got to do math.
Yeah,
don't know,
I mean,
Matt.
it's over 3 months.
3 months now?
Yeah, over.
I think we're going to go into, well, I mean,
think
unless they,
December.
yeah, we're
Early
talking
next
next year.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
Because the people, I think the actor's going to be like, look, you
Yeah.
know, look, this is not cute no more. This hot out here.
No.
Exactly.
There's only so many pictures we're going to take with our son. Like,
That's what I-
I'm tired. I'm hot. I need a job.
That's
you know?
what I say. It starts out like, and then
Yes.
by 6 months it's like, we're gonna, it's
Yeah,
just start-
and there's so many gray areas because a lot of people like, well, like I'm in gaming because
Right.
gaming doesn't fall under that. Soap operas doesn't
Right.
fall under certain things overseas don't fall under. You
That's
don't
right.
get all the shows moving and leaving, and
Right.
everybody's gonna be falling under a game show or do some kind of show where we don't have
They're
you know
gonna have
actors.
to-
So there's
be
money in
creative.
gaming?
There's so much money in gaming. It's ridiculous. And I'm doing this tour called 5GRV with these girls who are actual gamers. And I'm like the Flavor Flav. I'm the hype person. Keep it up. But I'm like, you can be in a tournament and win millions of dollars
No.
playing a game. I'm like, I know Pac-Man. Like, I'm from that era. Like, what? It's a whole
There's a
world.
Pac-Man gaming right now?
Everything. They do
Any kind of
everything.
game. There's a game where you just you know put on different lipsticks and different things on a doll, and you're just like, what?
They have a game for every topic
Everything.
in life.
You can pretend to knit. You can do anything. You can blow up stuff.
They have the VR glasses.
Yes, and you can stand there and like from
All these things for kids.
Yeah, I took
And adults.
Joshua to a gaming award show.
Oh, did you?
Oh, I'm gonna be doing a Game Awards
Yeah,
show in Vegas.
it was a big deal.
We're talking billions. There's people who have billions of
Wow.
followers. I've never heard of that. Billions of followers. The gaming though,
Wow.
because one thing you don't have to, we can. It doesn't matter what language you speak. We understand you blowing up this. We understand that. You know, like everybody
Yeah,
can look
yeah.
and get. We can all play against each other or whatever it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that opens it up to like billions of dollars. And I was like, oh, I'm in the wrong field. And you know while we over here striking, these people are getting in billions. You know, so.
And that you can do that now. It doesn't, it's not under any kind of contract.
No, eventually, I don't know if they're going to try to do something, but right now,
I think Glozell needs her own game.
I do. I'm like,
there's
I
a
want to
game
get into
there.
the gaming, come up with a game, you know. So
with some cinnamon in there.
that part, you mess with me, I blow cinnamon.
Some cinnamon and Obama.
Yes,
Yes.
old cinnamon. Yes, Cinnabon. I don't know, something like that. But there's an avenue. So for people, you know, like this is the creative time. If you're an actor
Exactly.
and there's no job right then now is the time to write that book, to do that song, you know, whatever
create
it is.
content?
Yes, to talk to that girl you ghosted. You know, like you got time. So you know, get your life right now. You know, so
Straighten it out.
because when we come back, it's not going to be the same. Whatever that is not the same. AI is
No.
here. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but is AI that's the biggest thing? What is there another thing that actors
That's the biggest thing. You want to get paid
Residuals
for
or
your
something?
residual. You want to get paid for your likeness. You take
Right.
You know, like I know somebody. I don't even know if I'll just put it like this. She was in a big movie, and they're like, "Well, we can pay you now, or you can get a certain percentage of when it goes into the theater. Certain percentage in the theater. It never went to the theater. It went to Netflix.
Wow. So she got nothing.
Son of
She
a...
got nothing.
Wow.
Oh, it makes me, and it
That's
messed her up.
horrible.
It messed her up.
And now they're going to use that forever.
Forever. And they
Oh, my
made millions.
goodness.
Like it was like
Millions.
over 100, like millions of
And
dollars.
they're going to use that
on the
for
movie.
eternity, her image.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
But the fact that they took... Did they know at that time that it was good?
I believe they.
You see how
I
that
believe
is?
They did.
That's
I believe they
sneaky,
did.
man.
That's withholding information.
It didn't go to the theater. It did
Wow.
not. It went streaming. So it's like,
Well, actors have to be very careful now.
right, but it's hard to be careful. Now you got to have a lawyer. Like
I
the
understand.
person who has the lawyer, I don't have to deal with you.
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't deal with you. We'll find somebody else.
that's true too. Yeah.
So tell us, how do you become a social media sensation today?
How do you become a social media sensation today? Put your content out there. There's always the audience for whatever you want to talk about. You know, and only like I can talk about being ghosted. I can talk about raising a child by myself. I can talk about divorce. You have something that you can talk about and people know that it's authentic to you.
And what platforms monetize the most?
Snapchat, believe it or not, monetize the best. Facebook is, I think, the next best. And then you have TikTok, Instagram. Yeah. Because I just did something on that just taking me out, my rent is good for the next, 2 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
On what?
On Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. It was a combo.
Oh,
They did a combo, not just one thing, and they integrated and keep doing. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Now I'll just so that is out there, and you don't have to have millions and billions of people. However, I'm so thankful to still be in the game. But the person I am today is the person I was 10 years ago. You could talk to my kindergarten teacher and be like, she didn't try to hit anybody, stab everybody, or talking about it. Like, whatever you are, however you are, be consistent with who you are. And somebody find you. Even if you're a mean, evil person, somebody might need to watch a mean, evil person. Like, that's what they're going to watch. So don't try to be something that you're not. That's what I am. And I put it all out there. I'm like, is that the reason why you get, ghosted or whatever? Do I put too much out there? But however, when you get with me, that's what I do.
Right.
yeah.
Either you accept it or you don't.
I'm not pretending.
Right.
Like this is it. This is where we went today. This one. I kind of figured because I'm an older mom. I have for some reason I'm better with older mom than single mom, but older mom. And I don't want her to. I want her to see that all the things that we did. And so I have it. I have that. This is who we went. This is what we did. This da 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 da. Because I'm like, one day that's gonna be what she has.
Right.
I'm 51. She's 7. Her father's 61. She's 7. Everybody's going. When we start to go, we all kind of gonna go together. Kind of like. So I'm like, I take pictures. I feel like I'm doing this historian kind of documentary
Right.
for her to just sit and like, yeah, we did that,
She's
we
gonna
did that,
have
we did
hours
that,
and
did that.
hours of footage of her
Yeah,
mom. It's
years of footage.
beautiful.
Like I've been
Yes.
doing this, So it's also coming from that lens. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to show off, the flaws of anybody. This is what happened. This is where we are. This is what, And mommy's still there, and she still did it. And we still made it to the party, and we did that. I didn't know that was going on, She was still smiling. Yeah,
She can look back and get all her answers.
that part.
I love that.
That part.
So tell us where we can find you.
Ooh, you can find me all social media on the TikTokers. It's Glozell on Instagram and on Twitch. That's new. That's a gaming site. I know. You see that? Like I'm learning that, and it's never too late to learn because that's a whole new audience. That's a whole new
I
audience.
love that.
So Twitch and Threads. You ever heard
Okay,
that? Twitch,
yes.
Threads, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat,
YouTube?
Glozell. YouTube. How can I? YouTube.
Come on
yes,
now.
that's number one.
Come on now.
YouTube.
How many
All right.
plaques do you have?
You know what? It's
How many
interest-
what?
Plaques. You were like, how many blacks you have?
Yeah, how many?
You just see how many blacks.
one, honey.
I'm just trying to hold on to one, please.
How many plaques do you have?
You know, I was with a company and they got the plaques. So I don't have any plaques.
That's
Why would
not
they
fair.
take the plaques?
It's like your agency, you know, like so you get you
very
reach 1
proud
million,
of
2
his
million,
plaques.
3 million, 4 million. I don't have any plaques.
See, he wouldn't let anybody have his.
No, you don't
He
take
loves
my.
his plaques.
You don't take
Good.
my.
You-
don't-
I mean-
you don't take my Emmys or my plaques.
That's amazing that you have like what people are talking about. Like when you hit a certain mark, then YouTube will send you. That's what you're
Yes.
talking about. Yeah, and a lot of people have not been able to cross over. I'm talking like A-list celebrity. Not that you're not. You're definitely.
No,
you're A. Yeah. Been able to cross over from television, any kind of television or film, to the social media, and you have. So that is
Glozell, I
huge.
appreciate you saying that.
That is
And she's
huge.
absolutely right.
That's right.
It's not a. There's only I think 2.5% have over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Wow.
2.5% of all the.
Very little.
But she's absolutely right. It's very difficult.
It
I mean,
is.
what she's done is like a meteor. Like it's not. I mean, millions.
Huge.
Of
Yeah.
but for some soap guy like me,
And we're talking like, even though you're probably in your 30s, but you're not like a teenager or 20 years old, you know, that you've crossed over and you're sustaining on both. That's remarkable. And you probably, I don't even know if you know anybody else who's doing that.
No.
That's
no,
excellent.
no. See that? Let's end it on that because it's
Okay.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
let's
he's the
end it on
king.
that.
All right.
Thank you for coming, Glozell. We
Thanks for having
appreciate
me.
you.